right, guys. So once again, we got to talk about the greatest domestic terror threat to this country, okay? And I feel like I say this all the time, but I'm so serious about this, okay? It is left-wing woke extremism, okay? That's what it is. It is woke extremism, whether that be corporate or whether that be situations like this where you have woke extremist activists, aka Antifa, once again showing that they are the real fascists, okay? They are anti-fascism, right? They're pro-fascists, okay? As they are trying to shut down free speech, okay? And that's what they did at an event that Charlie Kirk was scheduled to speak at UC Davis, which is a woke school, a woke university. They couldn't stand the idea of Charlie Kirk simply just speaking at this event, and they ended up showing up and basically causing all types of problems by participating in acts of vandalism and violence in response to speech that they don't like. Take a look.
Hundreds of protesters converging on the UC Davis campus tonight as a highly charged speaking event brings out conservatives, liberals, and what appears to be Antifa activists.
CBS 13's Brady Live is live with those tense moments. All right, Brady, we're hearing it got pretty ugly at times.
Hey guys, I'm just outside of the pavilion right now where things are much quieter than they were earlier this evening, and it all stemmed from an event being held right here by Turning Point USA, who hosted Charlie Kirk, a conservative podcaster and radio host. Stand up, fight back! The field outside of the University Credit Union Center cluttered with people protesting ahead of Tuesday night's event, including what appeared to be members of Antifa.
Cops off campus! Cops off campus!
The crowd face to face with a heavy law enforcement presence as event goers snuck their way in.
They did a barrier where you couldn't even walk past them, and they were being physical too.
We are going to get stronger, not weaker.
Tonight's speaker, Charlie Kirk, a conservative podcaster who the university says is a proponent of misinformation and hate.
UC Davis stands with our transgender and non-binary Aggies in opposition to this hateful and divisive messaging.
Chancellor May also notes that any student organization has the right to reserve facilities and invite speakers of their choice.
Yes, there's a lot of lies being spewed out there that it's only like a white supremacist convention over here supposedly, but you know, I'm Mexican, bro.
Some event goers say they're upset over the university's message put out earlier today.
Colleges used to be the bastion of free speech. You used to be able to have a debate, two sides.
Earlier in the evening, an event held by the David Phoenix Coalition says this kind of speech goes too far.
There is a line that's crossed, I think, when it becomes weaponized to, to oppress other people and quite frankly, to put other people in danger.
This speaker is promoting what I would consider to be hate speech.
Back at the pavilion, students like Caden Velasquez says events like this can be complicated for a university to manage.
The Chancellor's in a very difficult position because Davis is a very liberal school.
Velasquez says the university should have the responsibility to shut it down if students' lives are in danger.
In all honesty, shut it down. We don't want, that's the last thing we want is to have people hurt.
Now, we did reach out to Turning Point USA for a comment, but we have not yet heard back from them. As for the protest itself, we did learn that one police officer was injured after a protester jumped on his back. And we also learned that 2 protesters were arrested for graffiti on a campus building, guys.
Yeah, so I want y'all to understand. After this event, you had the SAC-B falsely claim that Charlie Kirk advocated for the lynching of transgender individuals, right? False claim. But before leading up to this event, the woke chancellor of this school basically said that Charlie Kirk was advocating for violence against transgender individuals.
Many of you have reached out to me and others regarding tonight's event organized by the registered student organization Turning Point USA, or TPUSA, at UC Davis. Thank you for sharing your distress at a student group hosting a speaker who is a well-documented proponent of misinformation and hate, and who has advocated for violence against transgender individuals. As a campus that is committed to our principles of community, UC Davis stands with our transgender and non-binary Aggies in opposition to this hateful and divisive messaging. UC Davis did not invite this individual and is not sponsoring this event. Our Chief Campus Counsel provided me with information and guidance for campuses in this situation. First, The University of California policy permits registered student organizations such as TPUSA to reserve university facilities and invite speakers of their choice. Under UC policy, campuses may not prohibit student organizations such as TPUSA from inviting these speakers, even if the speaker's intended speech is loathsome and hurtful to me and to others in our campus community. With respect to concerns related to violence, UC policy permits denial of requests if the speaker will present a clear and present danger to the campus. And council notes the policy explicitly states the campus carries a heavy burden in justifying such a denial under these circumstances. Our council also notes that there is a similarly heavy burden for criminal prosecution for incitement of violence. In short, while I abhor the inflammatory speech of this speaker, UC policy permits the student organization to invite the speaker. Please be assured that we are monitoring the event closely to determine if a threat or incitement develops that meets that threshold or violates other campus policies. I understand and share your objections to a speaker whose rhetoric is offensive and clearly intended to shock and provoke.
Yeah, so under this guy's own logic, he should be fired, right? Fired immediately. You should be removed from Chancellor because you incited violence against Charlie Kirk and the people at this event by falsely claiming that Charlie Kirk advocated for violence against transgender individuals, which never happened, right? It never happened. Like, you just went up there and just spouted a far left talking point, right, about how allegedly conservatives are inciting violence against trans people because we don't want far left woke ideology, gender ideology in schools, right? We don't want kids to be transitioning and mutilating themselves. We don't want biological boys competing against biological girls in sports. Because we don't want those things, they say that we're harming trans people, right? This is what they say. You're inciting violence against them, which is a false statement. It is a flat-out false statement. That is a defamatory statement. And quite honestly, Charlie Kirk should sue, right? Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA should sue this school and this chancellor for making these statements prior to Antifa showing up and trying to commit acts of violence against Charlie Kirk and TPUSA. That's exactly what should happen. Because this guy made false statements that, again, you know, if you're ignorant, you actually don't listen to what Charlie Kirk says. Yeah, you can take it the wrong way and say, oh, this guy is a dangerous person. When clearly he's not. Clearly he's not. Speech is not dangerous. Words are not dangerous. Okay? And I'm sick and tired of seeing this, man. Again, these colleges and universities are ran by woke, just woke. I can't even say the term I really want to say. They're just ran by woke ideologues, woke revolutionaries from the top down, right? From the top down. And these people are anti-American. They really are. They're anti-First Amendment. They're anti-free speech. And I'm sick and tired of seeing these people capitulate to the far left mob. Right? This guy right here has no cojones, right? Zero, none. This is a castrated man, okay? He might as well be a woman, right? Might as well be a woman. Out here perpetuating false claims and defending violence. That's what you're doing. You're defending violence. You're inciting violence and you're defending violence by not coming out here and condemning what we saw, right, at UC Davis from these woke activists. No, he's going to come out and say, oh, I understand your pain. Charlie Kirk is such a bigot. He's a transphobe. So that justifies violence. Right? It's just funny how that works. And then you got idiots at the event, okay, who you know, are trying to say, oh, well, the school should shut down the event if there is a threat of violence. Well, who's the threat of violence coming from? The threat of violence is coming from Antifa. Right? So, no, you shouldn't shut down the event. You should just arrest Antifa, right? That's what you do. You should be arresting them. You should be banning these people from campus. And if any students are participating in acts of violence or vandalism, then they should be expelled. No questions asked, right? If found guilty, of course, they should be expelled. There should be a zero tolerance policy for violent protests in response to free speech. There should be zero tolerance for it. They should be expelled immediately. And I guarantee you, if they started to do that, these protests would stop immediately. Right? I guarantee you, it would stop. Automatic expulsion. If you're found guilty of committing acts of violence, vandalism, in response to a speaker coming on campus, you are automatically expelled. You're gone. You're done. Your college career is over here at this university. But we know that would never happen, right? Unless, you know, it was some right-wingers that were protesting a left-wing person, then, oh, yeah, well, they would be on that quick, fast, in a hurry, right? They would try to get rid of those students. They would use whatever they can. They would throw the book at those students to try to get them expelled off campus. Woke privilege is out of control. Right? Woke privilege is out of control. It really is. Woke supremacy and woke privilege is rampant in this country. And stories like this are a prime example of it, man. They're allowed to get away with anything. And the so-called adults, right, they side with it, right? They side with it and say, oh, no, this is fine because they're oppressed, right? They're protesting for stuff that I agree with. So, therefore, you know, I don't care about free speech. Amazing stuff. Again, this chancellor should be fired immediately. He incited violence against Charlie Kirk, and they should be looking to sue. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.